This past week, Hampden County Sheriff Michael Ashe announced that after 4 decades, he will not seek re-election at the end of this term in 2 years. The sheriff has long championed that redemption is possible for anyone given the chance. To provide that opportunity, he and his team have created a restorative justice program at the Hampden County House of Corrections to help repair the harm created by an offender's crime. With relapsing back into crime down by 82%, Sheriff Ashe and his team say their program is a success. Producer and videographer Tim LINDOP now has more in a video essay.
The need for healing and forgiveness and reconciliation, I think, are part of the human spirit.
Our offenders harm people physically, do things in terms of against property, and this is a violation of both the victim as well as the community, and it's just unacceptable. This restorative justice and the Community Accountability Board in the Victim Impact Program, it's integrated in our overall mission of what we're doing.
Restorative justice always refers to bringing the attention to the victims, support and sensitivity to the victims.
Historically, our criminal justice system, it's looked at as it's a crime against the state, and it becomes the state versus the offender. We're really trying to give victims a voice in the system. We're trying to give communities a voice, in the criminal justice system, because if we really want to affect long-term change, we need to all work together.
Oh, thank you.
My concern is how they come back into the community. Restorative justice, challenging inmates, hold them accountable. This is a case of, if you will, making amends.
You're a member of our community. We've lost that sense, I think, that we belong to each other. We really are brothers and sisters. What does that mean?
When we did something wrong as kids, many of our parents held us accountable. We're brought back, as our sheriff would describe, bringing the offender back to the scene of the crime, so to speak.
Hearing people's stories and what happened, why are people doing the things that they do? Very often that's a question that people have, why would people do these things? And so they're learning a lot about some of the problems that are happening in the community and why things are happening.
The target communities are those where most victimization is occurring out there.
We're all about public safety, and we're coming up with real solutions, okay? And real measures and standards that work. So it's law enforcement, nonprofits, citizens, all working together. And when you think of work in terms of urban America today, we think of gangs, we think of drugs, we think of violence, but basically overtaking our streets and making the citizens, if you will, very fearful. And I love what we're doing, because what we're saying, that we're going back into these neighborhoods and empowering the neighborhoods.
The Community Accountability Board members are the voice of the community.
12 different boards meeting in different communities in Springfield and Holyoke.
Some 80 volunteers at this point who give up their time from their families to go to a location and be exposed to the offender who wreaked havoc in their community, and offer that time up is significant.
Very often it's, I'm harmed because I got caught and because I had to come to jail.
One of the goals that they realize how their crime has impacted the community, because they know that those of us on the board either live or work in the community of Holyoke. We try to set them at ease in the beginning and say we're not there to judge, we're there to just listen and to challenge them to make better choices in the future.
The offender is given tasks to work on during the month, things to complete such as community service, projects, whatever it may be that makes sense. Each case is individual and each person is seen individually.
If I were to bring the offenders that have participated in this program and put them in this chair, they'll tell you directly that it's one of the hardest things that they've had to undergo.
82% of our inmates that leave here do not come back at the end of the first year, and that 60%, do not come back after 3 years.
Many people that work in the system believe that most of the offenders that come in our system do not have the capacity for remorse, do not have the capacity for shame. Well, we know differently.
Well, you know, Catholic social teaching is about justice and equality and human dignity and respect.
We value people.
You know, some acts of injustice are very, very difficult to forgive. You know, maybe impossible for some people to forgive. But that's, again, that's the ideal. I'm not, you know, I think it's each person's journey.
So if we're able to get the offender to a place where they want to be a part of the community that's helping to make the community a better place, then that's a really good outcome.
What we have here at Hampden County Sheriff's Department is a model. It should be looked at in a very comprehensive way in terms of confronting the offender, hold them accountable, which is a lot of hard work, and that's what I'm very proud about. Our staff is very dedicated and committed to this mission, and they do a wonderful job. I'm very proud of them.